I'm Binu. I'm the Executive Director at Greenpeace South Asia. I'm based at India office. So environment and the region of South Asia. Now South Asia, when we look at that region itself, it's a densely populated. It's a region that has quite a bit of income disparity, but also a region that has a lot of climate related events. If you look at climate related events, and its impact is quite disproportional in nature. When we talk about climate related events, we can't really say one cyclone is because of climate related events, but we can say the frequency at which we have cyclones, we have droughts, has increased, and that is because of climate change. And when we talk about that, the impact on farming community, on workers, on fish workers, artisans, people who are in the front line, is felt much more acutely than many of us who have a house, a shelter, and access to electricity. And what is unfortunate is these individuals who form a significant part of the population of South Asia haven't contributed to climate change. In fact, the entire South Asia region as such hasn't, when we look at historical emission and even per capita, they haven't contributed to climate change or greenhouse emission as much. But they face the disproportional level of impact. It's on their livelihood, it's on their health, it's on their education, and that is, from an environmental issue and climate change, that is something that an organization like Greenpeace would want to work on and is a concern. So as much as we talk about environmental issue in South Asia, we will have to take this on a longer time horizon and countries across the planet. If you look at this historically, the greenhouse gas emission and large part of material production from Industrial Revolution time, it is done by the Western world and for the Western world. It largely was in that part of the world, and then now production has moved to the south, but again the customers are in the Western world. So that also has to be kept in mind, that what we are seeing as climate degradation, it's not within the boundaries of Bangladesh or India or Sri Lanka or Maldives, Bhutan, Nepal. It's not the population of these regions doing or they are not doing, but it's also what we are seeing from a historical context. So climate, I mean, the Earth system, it's a system. What we do in one part of the planet impacts all of us. So what we are seeing now is a planetary response to the kind of industrial production or the unsustainable level of production that we had, and also the consumption. Now we are not talking about here consumption for everybody. Okay, we are talking about consumption for a small segment of the population, and that is not sustainable. We definitely feel, we definitely know and feel that there is a large part of South Asia, not just South Asia, across the globe, who don't have access to electricity, housing, education, and material needs as well. And that should be there. And that means that 1% or less than that percentage of population who have such immense and wasteful access and usage of material goods cannot continue. That form of development is not sustainable. So when we look at South Asia problem, we can't take that out. Like what we are seeing as a consequence, whether it's drought or cyclonic impact, there is a history of 150 to 200 years of fossil fuel usage and kind of development that this region is now bearing the brunt. Greenpeace is a unique organization in a way. It's run by individuals who are concerned on environmental issues, on climate justice. They are the staff, the volunteers, allies and stakeholders. And another uniqueness of it is it's funded by individuals. So hence when we look at environmental issues, we look at the science-backed data, not from the objective of a certain government or a corporation. We look at what is science-backed data and those are our campaigns. And this uniqueness is because it's an independent campaigning organization and not funded by a government or a corporate. And in that form, it's there for 15 years, and it's got about 3 million supporters across the world. And this is not so much as an achievement of Greenpeace, but also an achievement of people and society, that they want an organization like this to exist, which is independent, is fearless, and is brave. So in this form, it's there for 50 years. And in the South Asia region, the India office has been there for almost 20 years. And now we would want to set up our office in South Asia, a South Asia office in Sri Lanka, for which there will be staff and team from this region, from Sri Lanka, who will lead it, who will campaign, design it, and not just Sri Lanka, but the region itself, from different staff from, there will be team members and allies from Bangladesh or Maldives or Nepal. So we think what we would want is this team to come together, do an assessment with its allies and partners on what is the kind of campaign we can take up. And initially the thought is we will take up a campaign that is regionally impactful. We may not focus on something that is just focus on Maldives or Nepal or Sri Lanka, but something that impacts the region. And it could be some link to climate change and oceans. Ocean is something that is linked to most of the countries or all countries in this region. And that could potentially be one of the campaigns that Greenpeace South Asia takes up. But having said so, the final decision on this will be done by the program team, which will get established. We are just going to establish, the recruitment is just happening. So they will do their research, they will have stakeholder consultation, and will take up a specific campaign that works in the region.